Hello, this is Carrie again, and I have today's tutorial is going to be all this greenery here, which I did in watercolor pencil, and I will show you all how that's done. If you like the video, subscribe to my channel, that's it, and enjoy the tutorial. Hello, this is Carrie, and I'm back for another edition. Apparently you guys like the couch tutorials, so despite the shakiness, we're doing this again. So I guess this is number 2 for the couch tutorials. Maybe I'll have to number these things. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some of these leaves in watercolor pencil, and I think I'm going to choose to do the leaves over here in this area, and I'm going to do these in watercolor pencil. So let's, before we start, this is Carrie. Subscribe to my channel if you like the video, If you like the video, consider signing up for an Audible membership, because when you get a free trial membership and you get a free audiobook, I get a small portion, so that you don't pay anything, but it does help support the channel. So that's one way to think about help supporting the channel. So that's that. So let's get started and do the leaf. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you one of the ways that I do leaves. A lot of these books have a whole lot of leaves. So there's many different ways to do the leaves, but one of the things that I personally like doing is when I do the leaves, I don't just pick a green. Like you saw how I did the black, how I layered different colors. This is going to be more of the same thing, except we're going to be doing it in watercolor and using watercolor in these tiny, tiny spaces. And there are some famous, bigger YouTubers who say you can't use watercolor in adult coloring books. You can do it on almost any book. If you've seen my video on that, and I will post a link to it right here, where I show you how to use watercolor pencil in just about any book, except for the thinnest paper ones. But if the paper is moderately fine, then you totally can. And so I'm going to illustrate to you how I did it in this book, because there's watercolor all over this book, and how I do it without damaging the backside, so that you can still use the backside. Let's get started. I'm first going to lay down the pencil. First we're going to pick our colors, then we're going to lay down the pencil, and then we're going to slowly add the water. So I will be right back with my pencil choices. So I'm back. This is going to be a little challenging to do this one-handed, because normally when I do the videos, I have the tripod, but and since I'm on the couch, I have to be handheld. So what I do now is I pick my colors, and when I do leaves, I use a lot of pine green. I love pine green. Pine green is an awesome color. A lot of people use hooker's green, but I actually like pine green better. I use a lot of olive green yellowish. This is a great color. It doesn't come in the 36 set, but it does come in 60 set. And this one, earth green yellowish. So let's get started. So first is to lay down some pine green. And so the first thing you're going to notice is that my pencil is, I don't know if the camera will focus correctly, but I hope you can see that my pencil is not particularly sharp. Because when you're doing watercolor, it's not as important. You just have to get the color down. That's the main thing, is to get the color down. It doesn't have to be exactly on the lines, because when you use the brush, you're going to be able to move that around however you like. So that's that. So I'm going to pause, finish laying down some of this pine green, and then come back with the next color, because it's kind of difficult to do this one-handed. So I'm going to pause, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I laid down the green, the pine green, and you'll notice right away how, again, it's not really going anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the olive green yellowish, and I'm going to pause and then be right back with your olive green yellowish. Okay, so I finished the olive green yellowish, and then I'm going to go back in with some earth green yellowish. Now you'll notice that I didn't do all of them in the olive green yellowish, because a part of me wants to wait and see what it's going to look like once I add water before I commit myself to this color set and this order. So I want to see what it looks like. I definitely am going to use the pine green as a base, so it doesn't bother me that I start with the pine green, but I definitely want to see what it looks like when I add the thing. And you'll also notice that I didn't color all the way out, and I left a lot of white space because once you add water, it's gonna really darken up those colors, and this should be a fair bit darker. It should be darker than it is now. So one of the ways that I've countermanded that is by not filling everything in so that it doesn't get super dark, and it's just sort of a little safety measure, because it's easier to go back in and add more color than to take color away. So then that's what I decided to do. But I have found that there is a limit to how many layers you can put in with these books. So usually 2 to 3 layers is about the max before you start to see damage either on the other side or the page really have problems, unless you're using watercolor paper, and then you can, go nuts. So I'm going to take a break, put in this earth green yellowish. And by the way, I'm using the Faber Castell Albert Dur pencils, which I know are pricey, but this will work with any watercolor pencils that you have. Crayola makes some nice ones. Prismacolor makes some that I haven't tried, but I heard that they're really nice. So so there's that. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished the you see the difference once I added those layers of those greenish, but I find that it's looking a little bit too yellow. So I'm going to add just a pinch of deep cobalt green. And I'm not adding a lot. So you see how little I'm adding. I'm adding just a pinch just to bring down that yellow a little bit. So I'm going to add the rest of this around here, and then we're going to come back, and then I'm going to add the water, and we're going to see how it goes. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now I added the green, I added the deep cobalt green. So then we get our little water pot, brush, and then I dab it with, this is actually nose tissue, but you're supposed to use a paper towel, but I'm not. This is a size 4 brush, but you can use any size. I'm using a slightly larger size because I don't want the individual brush strokes to show. So I'm going to do just the one, and then I'm going to come back and do the rest off camera. So you can see that by not doing filling it all in, it does move around a little bit, but I think this might have too much water. Yeah, there's too much water in there. So I'm actually going to take some of the water out and then come back in. That's a little bit better. Yeah, that's definitely distinctly better. So I'm going to do these off camera, and then I'll come back in and talk to you a little bit about some of the choices that I'm making. So I'll be right back. So I am back now. I finished adding water to the sections that I added water to. And I am not happy with these leaves. I find them to be a bit too fake, if you will. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to add maybe a little bit more, maybe get like a little bit fainter brown on here. So I'm going to pick some new colors, do a couple more leaves, and just continue with this trial and error until I'm happy with the leaves, and then use that for the bases of the rest, or at least something like the rest. So I will be right back with some new color choices. Okay, so I picked out some new colors. I'm going to go with the Van Dyke Brown, the olive green yellowish, and then top it off with the pine green instead of the other green that I used to top it all off. So I'm going to do those colors, and I will be right back. Hello, so I am back, and I did the colors as I noted. I did the Van Dyke Brown, olive green yellowish, and then I added up with some more pine green. So that's the new mix. And then I'm going to get my water, get my brush out, dip the water, dab the brush just to get out the most of the water, and then I'm gonna slowly add. This is a trick to do this on camera, is always a little bit harder. So I'm gonna go off camera and finish the rest of these. All right, I will be right back. And I want to show you the updated. I don't think there's that much difference. There is a little bit of difference. It's hard to see on camera, but off camera there's definitely a little bit of difference with this one looking a little bit more natural. So that's sort of going to be my template going forward, is to do things in that order. Maybe yeah, so do things in that order. So I'm gonna do a bunch of these. Oh, sorry, and then come back after I finish a bunch of these and go over some choices that I made. I'm not sure if I talked about why I use a size 4. Size 4 is kind of big for this small space, but I didn't want the brush strokes to be too obvious, so I wanted to go with a slightly larger brush. But if I wanted the brush strokes to be more obvious, I would have gone probably with a smaller brush. But using a larger brush helps me prevent the brush strokes from showing too much. And I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that's what I found works for me. So I will be right back. Hello, so I have finished everything. I just want to show you the path that I took. The only thing that I noticed is that because I did them in sections, these are like lighter than these, so I can go back and darken these up and put these back in. I can do that. I'm not sure that I will. I kind of like the fact that they are all slightly different shades, so I may just leave it as is, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's finished. So thank you again for staying with me, and I will see you next time. This is probably going to be my last video before Christmas. So I will see you guys on the 26th for the next video, and I wish all you guys a very happy Christmas and a happy new year, and that is it. Until next time, thank you.